Body Language. 12 Unforgettable Portraits of Heartbreak and Desire by Marylee Macdonald. Narrated by Barr. Copyright 2020 by Marylee Macdonald. Published by Grand Canyon Press, Tempe, Arizona. I have perceived that to be with those I like is enough. To stop in company with the rest at evening is enough. To be surrounded by beautiful, curious, breathing, laughing flesh is enough. To pass among them, or touch any one, or rest my arm ever so lightly round his or her neck for the moment. What is this, then? I do not ask any more delight. I swim in it, as in a sea. Walt Whitman. Preface. The stories in this book are about people who follow their instincts. Their bodies, rather than their conscious minds, direct what they do. A few years back, I became interested in the neuroscience of human behavior and discovered that many of our actions, if not most, originate in the amygdala, the primitive brain that is the site of our flight or fight response. Our five senses collect data from our surroundings, and that data is instantly transformed into electrical signals. These signals travel up the spinal cord to the amygdala, the hunter-gatherer's primitive brain. The amygdala is hardwired to the cortex, the part of the brain that makes instant judgments. Is that stranger friend or foe? Is that relative the same uncaring bastard we've always thought he or she was? Or can we let down our guard and finally resolve the childhood hurts that shaped who we've become? Without the intervention of conscious thought, our bodies make instantaneous decisions about whether we're safe or in danger. What's even more fascinating is that there's often a time lag between our actions and words. We've raised our fists or run for cover before we have time to think, gosh, I'd better book it. That's why we wake up in the middle of the night pondering the could-have saids and should-have saids. There's a delay between the instant our bodies feel an emotion and the moment we find the perfect words to name our feelings. Attraction works much the same way. When we're attracted to someone, the hormones dopamine and norepinephrine pump into the bloodstream. The hormonal cocktail makes us feel positively giddy. Even relatively innocent contact, such as hugging, increases the love hormone, oxytocin. Maybe that's why Walt Whitman, in his poem The Body Electric, says he is content to swim in the sea of touch. The following passage from the story Tito's Descent sums up the theme of the collection. I had never been as aware of my body as I was at that moment. The warmth of another human being, the sideways pressure of his hip, the squeeze of his fingers against my arm, the ripple of sensation from my forehead to my feet, made me feel as if we humans were designed, on a primitive level, to connect with one another not just with words, but with the intimacy of touch. That touch was essential for our well-being, and the reason we have bodies, not just souls. Our bodies speak to us every day. Let us listen. Marylee Macdonald, Santa Rosa, California, January 2020. A body of water. The first time I saw Sally, she was leaping from the top rail of a corral fence and into the saddle of one of her daddy's prized stallions, Satan. At 13, I was tall for my age. I'd try out for the freshman basketball team in the fall but would make junior varsity instead. Even so, the magnificent horse stood hands above me. Sally's guts and grace stopped me in my tracks. Seeing her all-American good looks, my knees began to cave.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?